This is Vicky, your wonderful host, and this is live at Eco Hotel. We are at Lagos Architect Forum. 13.0 is the forum, and trust me, if you're actually not here, you're missing out. This is the day one of the show, and we have a lot of radios that we actually had to go about, and let's meet. So guys, come with me and let's roll with them.
Before we sit, can we kindly recite the pledge, the national pledge? I pledge to Nigeria and the country
to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all its strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory, to the whole
Thank you for our invitation. My name is Samuel Adeyemi, Media Strategies and Media DNA. On the ITable, we have the president and the chairman and the panel of journalists that will be asking the questions and what to expect at this forum. So let me start from here.
And secondly, we are all aware of the building collapse which occurred around the Butemeta area of Lagos State. I know I've asked this question before, but it is as though building collapses are like a recurrent decimal here in the country. As architects, what have you put forward? How do you begin to what do we need to do to ensure that this issue, this this culture of building collapse is something that we don't get to hear as much as often? Thank you. The question is directed to the Lagos chairman of the NIA.
Well, thank you very much. The suppliers of building materials to see how we can move the country, most especially the states, forward. More to interact with the government and see how we can help in policy reform, in policy making, and also creating kind of a synergy between the public sector and the private sector. And also, it's so sad that we are where we are today when you talked about the building collapse. And fortunately, the person that started this initiative is here on this panel for the media chat. She's going to throw more light. And I'm glad my president, the first vice, and the past president is here. We'll talk about how we're trying to eradicate building collapse in Nigeria. Coincidentally, our celebratory female architect of the year also has been a past chairman of the Building Collapse Tribunal. Presently, she's a member of the Lagos State's Fiscal Planning and Urban Development Appeals Committee. So I'll hand over to the president to talk about how the Nigerian Institute of Architects is making his effort to make sure that we eradicate building collapse in Nigeria. Over to you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you, Architect David. I want to first start with the issue of BAF 13.0. Yes, I may be the president of the Institute today, but I also hold my teeth here in the Lagos chapter, and I'm very much a part of this chapter and the initiatives that have emanated from this chapter. Now, LAF, as you're all aware, is in its 13th edition, and it has over the years grown from strength to strength. What it specifically tries to do is to look at its catchment area, which is Lagos, and see how, as architects, we can look at our environment and see how we can improve on a lot of the things that happen within our environment. We try to analyze the physical development within the city of Lagos and see how we can get government to key into some of the suggestions that as professionals we think they should key into so that Lagos become a better and more livable city. It's also an opportunity for manufacturers of building products to exhibit them and let the architects who are the specifiers to know what is available in the market and specify those materials that are available as a way of encouraging manufacturers of these products to make them available to the end user. Now that's a part of LAF. Then you talked about the area of building collapse. Well, it's unfortunate that the Lagos area seems to be leading in terms of how frequently buildings collapse. This is not unconnected with the fact that Lagos is a very densely populated area and the demand for land is very, very high. And so people in the bid to make money cut on a lot of corners. The specific building you talked about in the Butemeta had actually been marked as being distressed. So it means that the authorities had identified that building as not fit for human habitation, but it's just unfortunate that after it was marked, they did take concrete efforts to evacuate the occupants so that we will not have this issue of people dying in the collapse. But be that as it may, that does not justify any collapse And in the past, we've had collapses that have been attributable to a number of factors, principally due to the fact that you hardly have the correct professionals manning a lot of these sites. I want to make bold to say that any site that has a full complement of the necessary professionals supervising the construction of that building, such that at various stages of the development of the building, of a building, you have relevant professionals signing off at different stages that they have certified, for instance, that the substructure has been done according to the designs that were approved. And that way, if anything goes wrong, you have professionals to hold, and such professionals are normally very careful because they know that their livelihood is at stake and they would not want to compromise and have their livelihood taken away from them. So this is therefore a call to our various state governments, particularly the Lagos state government, to increase the area of inspection of projects as they are going on. It is not when a building has already been completed that I now go there to mark it as not been approved. I think as the building even takes off at the setting out stage, and by the time they are excavating for foundation and all of that, government should be able to go there and ensure that if they don't have proper approval and if they don't have the right professionals supervising such projects, that they should stop them to prevent a situation where we will now be doing damage control after the project has already reached an advanced stage. So I think at this stage, let me hand over to Architect Abimbola, who has hands-on experience with collapses and tribunals and all of that, to throw some more light on that.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand on the existing protocol. I don't know whether I should talk about LAF first or the building collapse. Both. Lagos Architects Forum started about 13 years ago. If LAF was a human being, we can say that officially it became a teenager today or this month. So it's actually a thing of joy because it started small. The whole idea was to bring, even though it says Lagos Architects Forum, the whole idea was actually to bring together professionals in the built environment, spearheaded by architects, and for networking purposes, for policy reform, for us to just be like an advocacy group. Whatever we discuss at the forum, we hope that will be implementable, if there's an English word like that, implementable by government, and also by the society, because it actually involves everybody. Construction industry professionals or built environment professionals, whichever nomenclature you prefer, and the general public. So basically that's what it's all about. My chairman has spoken about it, and you'll read more about it in the brochure that you have. Now, heading towards building collapse, it is a very sad thing that this would keep occurring in our environment. I know that we've been on this matter for decades, and I have been involved in policy making, talking about building collapses, bringing out measures to mitigate or eliminate this menace in the society. But to be honest with you, I don't think we have the political will or the strength of character to stop this menace. Because we actually know what to do. We have professionals who are trained and experienced to actually ensure that this is mitigated for them. It happens all the time. And if we follow the trend, you see that it actually elevates towards the rainy season. And by now, we should really be ready to implement what the professionals have been talking about, at least that I know of since 2008, and we have the National Building Code that professionals have come together to help with the standards in the environment, and yet this thing still keeps happening. And government is trying, but we are not trying enough. And if the government needs to be helped, I believe that professionals in the private sector also have to form a strong advocacy group to ensure that this thing stops. And then we talk about quackery, people who are not professionals who actually go into this construction and all that. What are we, who are the owners, who are the professionals, who are the ones who are supposed to be the watchmen over our industry? What are we doing about it? Are we shying away from our responsibilities? Are we ready to take up our responsibilities? And to be honest with you, please be ready for more collapses, because if we are not ready to do the right thing, then be sure that these tragedies will continue to occur. So I want to call upon all professionals, whether you are in public sector, in private sector, in academia, let us rise up and do the right thing, because lives are just being, people are just being killed. They are not losing their lives, they are being killed by all these tragedies that are happening that are actually avoidable. Please, government, we need to do something. Professionals in the private sector, we need to do something. Professionals in the academia, we have to do something. I did engineering as part of my architectural training, but I'm not an engineer. If I practice engineering, I'm a quack. I know a little bit about town planning. That doesn't make me a town planner. If I practice town planning, I am a quack. And the same goes for town planners in our midst who want to be architects. The same goes for engineers who want to be architects. And we know how to do costing in buildings, maybe use cost plus, or what do we call it, to do those rates and do a quick thing. If I do it, and if I know how to do it, and I am not trained or licensed to do it, and I practice it, I am a quack. So we all have to come together and do our work together and rise up and look at this thing called building collapse as our personal responsibility to ensure that even if we cannot eradicate the menace, we would mitigate it as much as possible. Thank you. I think I need to give my serious okay.
Okay, thank you, my HGS. I think you've said it all, and I think we're on the right track. But what I want to say is that until we can get the corporate governance structures in place, we will continue to have this problem repeating itself. We're looking at this event, and we're looking at the discussions that will be held, and the title is "This is Lagos." Lagos is technically the digital capital of Nigeria, apart from the economic capital. And there is no reason why every square meter of Lagos should not be covered by GPS codes. There is no reason. I mean, we have a neighboring country where people have their GPS addresses. They give you an address, they give the GPS coordinates of the address. It therefore means that if we can use Uber, and we can use Bolt, and you can even see it on your telephone, and you see where the taxi is moving, it therefore means that we can see these buildings as they are being built. We can track the materials that are going to those buildings. It would also be the right governance structure that we know where is the source of the steel being used for construction. Is it from a properly certified dealer? What about the workers who are working there? We should be able to get the right certification in place. Until we can do it, until we can have a proper governance structure on the construction process, where we start to track who designed, who supervises, what are the stages of construction, what are the stages of certification, and it's available on a digital platform. This is why this is Lagos, because this collapse came this week or last week, just to remind us that when we are talking of Lagos, we should not forget that Lagos should not become the capital of building collapse. Once we get it right, with the right corporate governance, right from everything we do, right from government, right from the town planning, right from the tribunals, everywhere. It's just the governance. Whether we talk of WAC or we talk of this or that, if there's no governance in place, if there is no procedure on how to do it, we will never get it right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll just take the last question on business day because of our time. And then thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chuka Woko, and I write for Business Newspaper. I am directing my question to the chairman, Lagos branch. I just want you to tell us about, rather answer the question, speak to the theme of this conference. The city of Lagos, what is Lagos? What is Lagos beyond a city where building collapses frequently?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, the gentleman from Business Day. Right, now when we talk about the theme for this year laugh, this is Lagos. What is Lagos? Now, the city of Lagos. What is Lagos? Now you may think, why this kind of thing? Now, when we talk of the thriving city in the world, these are cities that never sleep. These are cities without disaster in terms of building collapse. Now, let's talk about New York City. What is significant about New York City? The Times Square. What is significant about Paris is towards the Eiffel Tower. What is significant about the city of London? Talk about Piccadilly Circus, Covent Garden, Westminster, Trafalgar Square. Now, we're going to hear quite a lot from our keynote speakers and other speakers for this forum. Now, we talk about city, not just only the architecture. We look at the city in terms of inland revenue generation. We look at city in terms of image. We look at city in terms of color. We look at city in terms of the culture. Now, if we're to compare or to look at what I refer to as a city that never sleeps, let's look at Obalende. What makes Obalende to be more prominent in Lagos City than never sleep? There is a culture, there is an activity going on, but we need to address this. We're talking of Ajigule, we're talking of Badia. There's so many undeveloped urban center in Lagos, and we have a dream. Last year thing is, what is Lagos going to be in the next 25 years? The governor was around and he took a lot of ideas, and I mean, he got the communique, and fine, he might not get it right, but I'm glad we have some of the government functionaries here today, and they can tell you more, because we're going to have goodwill message, and some of them are speakers. They're going to tell us what Lagos State is doing. And not only that, we need to look at ourselves as professionals. How can we make this city to work? How can we make the city of Lagos to be vibrant, to be compared to the other cities in the world? So that's more to do with the theme of this forum. Thank you very much, the press. We just finished the media chat, and we're going into the opening ceremony of LAFO. Please, our dignitaries, don't be offended yet. All recognition shall be done, but this is just the media chat to start LAFO. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's appreciate it.
Perception management, marketing, advertising, public relations, and crisis communications, where he has consulted for many multinationals and governments, home and abroad. YBO is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, where he was past chairman of the Lagos State chapter. He also sits on the boards of several blue-chip companies in Nigeria. As part of his continued efforts at mainstreaming Africa into global public relations practice, YBO has served as a board member of the International Public Relations Association, IPRA. His love for Africa is evident in his real and selfless service to the African Public Relations Association, APRA, where he has served as a two-term Secretary General and is the current president. He was recently appointed as West Africa Chair for the Public Relations and Communications Association, PRCA. YBO is admired by many for his personality characterized by cheerfulness, love of nature, and willingness to serve. Please put your hands together and give a round of applause for Mr. Yomi Badejo Okusanya.
Thank you very much. Mr. President of the NIA, Mr. Chairman, Lagos State Chapter, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen of the high table, please allow me to adopt the existing protocol that has already been established. First and foremost, I want to thank NIA Lagos State Chapter for inviting me. They actually think that I'm doing them a favor, but they're doing me a favor. And the favor is, those who know me, I speak about something called affirmative public relations. I'm a strategic communications person, and I preach the gospel of strategic communication. And so anytime I have the opportunity, I speak about it. So I'm like an evangelist of sorts. Tomorrow, for instance, I'll be speaking in Port Harcourt on communication and elections. My analogy is simple. Communication is like injection. When it's in a dial, it's not potent. When you pull it out with a syringe, it's not potent. Until you apply it, that's when it is potent. And now I want to apply it to the Nigerian Institute of Architects. And I hope you get a good dose of it this morning. I must also apologize for my using this. I traveled various states yesterday by road, and I guess I sat too much in the car and ended up with something that is called spondylosis. And it's so I need to put this on, I need to use this so that I don't rest my left foot on, I don't rest on my left foot because it's a bit painful. But having said that, I want to welcome you all to this august event, my very first as a member, as NIA. And I'll tell you about how all this happened, and I believe that the chairman has already alluded to it. He didn't tell you where we were. I will tell you where we were. So, this afternoon, we're speaking on the subject of architecture and communicating brand Lagos. Is there any nexus? Is there any link between both? Most of you on this podium, you are scientists. By reason of architecture, you know about what? Technical drawing and so on and so forth. I don't know. My technical drawing wasn't that good. And you guys have to spend more years than most of us in university so that you can get your degrees. So, I'm beginning to wonder how you guys, in your wisdom, decided to invite me that I know nothing about what you do. I'm a social scientist, and so how do I end up speaking to scientists about what they do? Let's see if we can find out. Can you please give me my first slide? Architecture and communicating brand Lagos. Yeah, go on. know this tune? If you know this tune, can you please just... Yeah. All right. Drop it. Give me the second.
It's legendary beats.
How many of us know this? You are familiar with it? Drop it. Thank you. So, the first tune for Momo, I'm sure you are familiar with the very first tune, maybe less familiar than the second tune. So the question then arises, what is Lagos? The first artist said, Eko Gbabere, no nonsense. This is Lagos. And then the second artist talks about a place called Ojuelegba. So what is Lagos? Ojuelegba talks about, from what Fela said in his own Confusion Breakbone, Ojuelegba is a place of confusion. You remember, motor they come from right, motor they come from left, motor they come from... So, is Lagos a place of confusion? Yes or no? Lagos is a place of... How many of you agree that Lagos is a place of confusion? Okay, how many of you agree that Eko Gbabere it's often said that when you arrive at other states, they tell you, welcome to River State. When you get to Lagos, they say, this is Lagos. So, this is where it all started. Freedom Park. Lesson number 1. Don't go to Freedom Park when it's celebration. If you go to Freedom Park when it's celebration, don't sit beside David Majagodomi. And lesson number 3. If you happen to sit beside David Majagodomi, don't open your mouth and discuss with him. Just keep quiet. I'm here today because we're just having, we're sharing a glass of wine, like he said. And he talked about, we're talking. And I just started, and I think she was there, she was there. And we just started talking. And I was saying, really, what is Lagos? Does Lagos have a DNA? Is Lagos defined? One person said Lagos is confusion. The other person says Lagos Gbabere. Really? Who and what is Lagos? And that's the origin of the keynote that you have today and the theme. We want to thank Theo Lawson. Coincidentally, Theo Lawson was my senior in school, Igbobi College. In Igbobi College, once you're senior, it's always your senior. So I still call him Senior Theo. There were good seniors and there were bad seniors. Unfortunately, Theo was one of the bad seniors. I can still get punished for that. So, the city called Lagos, Nigeria's lagoon city, leading Nepal, is the world's 6th mega city. In 1995, it had over 10 million people. It's played a pivotal role in Nigerian economy, especially when it remains a commercial left center. Gross domestic product, I beg your pardon, 26.7 of Nigeria's total GDP. More than 50% of the non-oil GDP. And I regret that the governor is not here. I would have loved him to listen to this. And then from his global ranking of 31st, I beg your pardon, in 1985, he jumped to, I think, 6th. In 1985, he exploded to 13.4 million to become the world's 6th mega city and Africa's most urban center and hub of national, regional, and global socio-economic and political activities. Yet, we are still questioning Lagos DNA. What is the consistency of Lagos DNA? Let's find out. Right now, the Lagos, okay, give me back. Go back. Right now, the city of Lagos is over 220 million inhabitants, largest city south of the Sahara. Next slide. Next. It has an engaging skyline. It's characterized by high-rise structures in some places, dilapidated buildings, slums, and wholesale markets. How many of you have seen movies on Netflix? Every movie about Lagos must show the Lekki Link Bridge. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed it? If the movie is about Lagos, even if it's the center of it is in Agege or somewhere, that's right, they must show the Lekki Link Bridge. And I'm going to tie it together for you. What has architecture got to do with communicating Lagos? Brazilian style architecture, although we're seeing less and less of that. I remember when we were growing up, my mom used to take us to Lagos and we used to see Brazilian style architecture. And Mama, you remember the days of Frejon in Lagos. I remember the days of Ayo. And we will sit in one of those homes and we will observe and watch. Next slide. Okay, well, vary from tropical and vernacular to colonial European, you know more about this than me. Next slide. Now, what is a brand? And many of us use this word loosely. A brand refers to a business and marketing concept that helps people identify a particular company, product, or individual. West African Ceramics came and they told us what the brand is all about. Brands are intangible, which means you cannot actually touch or see them. They have more to do with perception. They have more to do with word of mouth. They have more to do with reputation than anything else. If you travel to New York, the first thing you get in the cab driver asks you, first time in New York? Has that ever happened to you? That's the first thing he's going to ask you. First time in New York? And then if you dare say no or yes, he will begin to reel where you must visit. Do you know that? So you must visit the Empire State Building. You must go to the Statue of Liberty. You know, it's almost as if they train them to market the city of New York. So, as such, they help shape people's perception of companies, the product, or individuals. Brands commonly use identifying markers. Identifying markers, which is where the nexus, you see the nexus now between architecture and communicating brand Lagos. To help create, no, don't go on, please come back. To help create brand identities within the marketplace. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Next slide, let me take it faster. All right, what is communication? It's a process of transmitting information and understanding from one person to another. Through this process, two or more exchange ideas and understanding. While public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationships between organizations and their publics. Next one. So, Mama, again, you remember this. See Paris and what? That was brand communication. See Paris and die. In those days of our parents, anywhere you travel to, Mr. Amutu, am I right? You must go to Paris. Because when you see it, you will die. Literally. It was the city of love. It was the city of romance. It was the city of wine. It was a city of just being chic. And they were able to effectively communicate that with a symbol known as what? The iPhone. Next slide. Many of us have not been to Dubai, but we know about Burj Khalifa. Am I right? Do you know about Burj Al Arab? Dubai has taken over from cities like Paris as the wonder of the world. I mean, when you go there, you ask yourself if these things are man-made. I've seen a man-made beach in Dubai. And every day you go into Dubai, you see something completely new. Something like a wonder. What are they trying to communicate? Next slide. This is Lagos. Yes. Or let me say, was Lagos. Yeah. Many of you probably did not grow up to see this. If you notice, people were driving on the wrong side of the street at this time. This was a symbol of Lagos. The fountain. That was the icon of Lagos. And in those days, you used to walk here, and then I couldn't get a picture of what the marina was. Because when you want to propose to your girlfriend, you go to the marina. You don't, before area boys came, you go to the marina. You walk down the marina. And I think Governor Fashola tried to recapture some of that by re-urbanizing the place, but I'm not sure how much that has worked. And in those days, they had a song that they used to sing. I think something like, Lagos is too far, I don't care. Because when you needed to speak, when you needed to engage, when you needed to communicate, there were places you went to. Next slide. Next slide. This is the new Tinubu Square. Not many of us recognize it. How many of you have driven past Nnamdi Azikiwe in the last 3 months? You couldn't do anything to go past here. You still go there. You still go. Oh, because you go to church around there. But this is a... Do you recognize this statue? How many of us recognize it? Who is that? Nah. Madam Tinubu, who the square was named after. Remember, we're talking about communicating the DNA of Lagos. PS, are you listening to me? What are we selling? What is Lagos? There's a building beside, in opposite next. Where's that place? No, not Abuleka.
First Cinema.
First Cinema. Just a little bit of an addition. That building will be iconic. We must stop building only for function. We must build to communicate. We must build to serve Lagos. Finally, I see a few of my colleagues here who are communication people. I want to advise that the Nigerian Institute of Architects use them more. I've met Vincent, where's Vincent? I saw Vincent, and then of course him. I want to advise that you engage the services of a professional. It doesn't have to be us, but you've got a lot of work to do so that you can help to communicate Lagos. Finally, I wonder why you people are listening. You're architects, and this guy who has a degree in history mistakenly found his way into public relations. He's talking and you are listening. Good luck to you. Thank you very much.
People of the high table,
and I think I want to stand on existing protocol so I don't take too much of the time. Thank you very much, my dear Abu Yomi, for helping us to realize that there's a lot of connection between branding and architecture, and there's so much that can be done for Lagos, not just Lagos, but I believe in so many areas of our development. Much as we appreciate your own view, there's been an ongoing challenge in the process of branding of corporate organizations like the banks, you know, the service providers, the other industrial giants. We have been sort of pushed aside. Oftentimes, the architect is brought in just to put the technical touch to the branding of these organizations. Now that you have come to visit us, I want to ask, in what ways can we continue this discussion, this engagement, so that we can collaborate to impact not just the iconic buildings, but the regular buildings? I'll give an example of, for instance, GT Bank. Fortunately, we had an architect involved. But in many others, the architect is not there. He's either not involved at all, or he's brought in to certify, to package for purposes of approval. So, going forward, I see there's an opportunity for the architects and brand professionals like yourselves to collaborate and improve cities like Lagos and so many other opportunities as well. Thank you very much.
A lot of different styles of architecture that will appeal to investors. Right now, I market and sell real estate for a real estate company in Lagos. I had the person that spoke last talked about a style of architecture, and he used the term Brazilian to describe style of architecture. I want to just find out if there are other terms that can be used to describe styles of architecture, because I don't really know myself. I've heard about Gothic styles of architecture, Queen Anne style of architecture. I don't know if there are other terms that can be used to describe styles of architecture. Thank you.
My question is, what part are the architects doing to communicate and preach the role of a structural engineer in their drawings? Because I'm a civil structural engineer, and when I had the word what is Lagos, I felt I need to be here to listen to what architect wants to say. And my question is, how are architects, making sure that the general public understand the usefulness of engaging it? Because everybody says, okay, I can just design and build and give it to just one part to design for me, and then the building stands. With having to see subsequent news of building collapses in Lagos, it's high time for us, even as professionals, to start preaching, to clients and to the general public, communicating with design that the usefulness of the structural engineer, you can't just achieve this design, this beautiful design standing just like that. You need a professional engineer to help you achieve this. Looking at the Burj Khalifa, looking at the Paris, looking at great structures all over the world, the significance of structural engineers cannot be overemphasized. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The governor is coming here on Friday. Tell him to his face, okay, we are extracting a promise from you today. We want you to appoint A, B, C, D. We want you to have a Lagos, what you call redevelopment urban design policy. So the only time you should not get involved is when you are not there. Why should they be talking about election in Lagos State? Mr. President, the next president of Nigeria must be able to assure you as architects that he will do the right thing. Join the conversation. Join the conversation. This is the city of opportunities. If you can't make it in Lagos, you can't make it anywhere else. It is the knowledge you make in Lagos that you take somewhere else. Someone who is a Boy Scout, member of the Boy Scout in Lagos, can easily be a mobile police in Ibadan. Because he has learned the tricks of the trade. This is the city of possibility. Los Angeles says the city of angels.
The president, Nigerian Institute of Architects, my own brother, architect A. Benebo. Our host, the chairman of Araye Lagos, David Madikotomi. The members of the National Executive Council of Araye here present. The past presidents of the NIA here present. Past chairmen and chairpersons of NIA Lagos chapter here present. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am indeed delighted to be here amongst you, and I think Mr. Yomibade Jokusoya has kicked the ball rolling, and I'm sure we're really going to have an interesting session here. When I got the invite and I saw the name, and I was wondering, what is he going to talk about? But for me, one of the reasons why I'm here is what he has highlighted. Having a collaboration between the communicators and the architects. Globally, the word now is collaboration. The era of somebody doing on his own is all gone. During the period of COVID, I had this very close friend. We were in secondary school together. He's an associate professor of psychiatry in one university in Canada. He kept calling me and he was asking me professional questions. Like, for instance, he wanted to be able to measure a distance of 3 meters or 1.8 meters to be able to determine how far he should be away from his clients so that he would not contact COVID. And they wanted to establish that. See, in the course of our conversation, once my plumbing system, he was talking about AC, and he was able to link the AC installation with the normal plumbing system. And then that was when it occurred to me that, look, for every project, for you to attain success, the real success, because I keep telling people, it is not about yourself alone. It's about what you are leaving for the users. Not only the users alone, but also visitors. Because most of us, maybe when we do design projects, when we work on projects, we only think about our clients. We don't look at the ultimate users as well as visitors to the building. So what he had just said, for me, and that highlights why I'm here, why I will always be at NIA function. I think there is need for all the professionals in the built environment to come together. Let us collaborate. There are a lot of things that are wrong with our industry. The government is not helping us. It's about time we come together, face government, and tell government we need to make our system work. And the only way the system can work is when we professionals, when we talk. But if we are busy fighting each other, we have all these professional rivalries and nothing. Basically for me, nothing. At the end of the day, it's a society. And when the society loses, we also lose. Because we are all members and part of that society. So once again, I want to thank you sincerely for inviting me. The session, I'm sure, is going to be an enlightening one. Let me also recognize my brother, Professor Biola Soni. We used to be neighbors way back in the 90s, if I remember correctly. So give my regards to Shola and the children, right? On this note, I wish everybody a happy celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause, please. We'd like to call on the next person to give his own good message.
That's the Chairman, Lagos State Appeals Committee, Town Planner, Araye. A round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. My name is Philip Chibi. I'm from LG, Product Marketing Manager for Home Appliances Division. So I'll be giving us reasons why we can actually look at what Lagos is giving us and what LG is giving Lagos. Okay, as architects, we actually need products that can actually work with what we do. As architects, we mind space, we look at aesthetics, we look at the build-up of the whole building from the root source. So with LG, we are giving you products that are mining spaces. Sometimes we check our washing machines and dryers, they are stacked. They mine space. They don't actually take up space in your houses. And already, Lagos landlords, they actually cutting spaces in all kinds of buildings. So LG is actually adapting to, what will work in Lagos. So we give you space. We also will give you aesthetics. If you check out our products, they're all looking dark, like sweet products.
Is our director at large and representative of the country of Nigeria. Hello everyone, and greetings from Tokyo, Japan. My name is Sato. I'm from the US, but I reside in Japan, and I am Araye International's president for this year. I got a nice request from my friend and architect, Mr. Araye Onsolo, who is our director at large and representative of the country of Nigeria. He asked me to say a few words on behalf of Araye International. We are thrilled to be a co-host for this esteemed event and meeting known as the Lagos Architects Forum 2022 version 13.0. And I'm very excited to say a few words for everyone. Unfortunately, I cannot attend. I would love to attend. Lagos is a city and state that I want to visit one day. When I heard that the title of this year's forum is "What is Lagos?" that was very interesting to me. I thought about it for a long time. I was thinking, why would architects, engineers, and other people in the industry, construction companies, product manufacturers, why would they all gather to try to ask the question, what is their own city? I'm from New York City, and so I thought to myself, what is New York? And I thought about it for a long time. And I started to understand why you would ask yourself this question. It's time for soul searching, perhaps, for all of you. It's my understanding that Lagos is the second largest city in Africa, and that it's actually the fastest growing city. It will one day overcome and become number one in maybe 2 or 3 decades. It's quite amazing. So perhaps when you think about what is Lagos, it shouldn't be asked or thought of in the past tense, but in the future. What does Lagos want to become? What do you want Lagos to become? And how can you affect the city's growth in a very positive way? Architects are often set with such responsibilities. Whether they can achieve it is another question. I'm hoping that this next 2 days during the forum that this question will come up and we'll exchange great ideas and help to develop your city, Lagos, your cities of Lagos discuss and learn in the future. Thank you very much and enjoy the show.
Not just what is in the market, but basically what you like.
So all I need to do is just send you an image of what I want.
Yes, one idea. So I want to bring plastic and I want to bring nature to my workspace.
And I said, how can we have a conversation? And how can we support one another? Okay, so I must commend NIA Lagos chapter for this initiative. Because people don't want to talk about taxation. Okay? But I bring good tidings. I bring good news. So this is not about how you are going to pay more taxes, but how you are going to be enlightened, become more enlightened, and pay what you should pay, which may actually be less. So if you look at chapter 3 of the National Tax Policy, it identifies professional bodies as a key stakeholder. So I want NIA, including the national level, to see itself as a key stakeholder. So where is the shoe pinching you? Okay, it's good to talk around all these issues, but it will only work when we articulate them in a form that will make impact. If you talk to any politicians, because I do legislative support and intelligence, I've done it for years. All they want is, what do you want us to do? Is it a regulatory framework? Let me have it. Is it a regulation that you want, something that the commissioner or the governor will sign into law? So you must progress beyond talking to taking practical action and put it in the hands of the permanent secretary and say, we do not just want to have a city architect in Lagos. We do not just want to have urban development policy. These are the documents. If you can walk the talk, then government will begin to take you seriously. Okay, so the objectives are to underscore your tax obligations as professionals, then simplify how the system works so that we can have a better understanding, then provide in some tax planning, and also challenge you not just to talk, but to also get involved. We have had an architect as number 2. Why not an architect as number 1? The legal profession has also had a lawyer as number 2. Why not a lawyer as number 1? That may not be good news to so many people in Lagos, especially on this side. But why not a lawyer as number 1? Just as we are saying that if we do not fix Nigeria from the foundation, there are so many things that will never work. All our professionalism will be in vain at the end of the day. If you go to another federal system, you are going to be licensed to practice from state to state. Is it better? We have to do a comparative studies. But each state will ring-fence its jurisdiction. Because whether you like it or not, in judiciary, that is what we have. You have Lagos High Court, you have Ogun State High Court. They would say because of the proximity, take a case meant for Lagos to Ogun, because we are neighbors, no. And they have their rules of court. Federal system has developed all this. But in Nigeria, we have a monolithic and a uniform system, which is unknown in any federal system. So we are talking about restructuring so that we can have efficient systems in terms of one, allocation of functions, so that the function that the chairman of Lagos chapter can perform, why should you ask the national to do it? You are busy expanding the frontiers for NIA nationally and internationally. What concerns, So now there is similarity between companies income tax and personal income tax. So I'm not going to go to town on companies income tax. You must have a leftover before you can invest. Only thing, you will see that more architects will now know that there are reasons why you may need a limited liability company. Some establishment may say, oh, if you are not a limited liability company, you can't bid for certain jobs out of ignorance. But if that is the policy, you cannot change it, no problem. There's also what you call capital allowance. You have incurred a capital item. If as a senior advocate of Nigeria, I've incurred capital item for my wig and gown and my robe. Of course, wig doesn't come cheap. I take it. Okay? So, losses, because you won't start making money immediately. Losses, if any, then consolidated relief allowance. Look at all this. If you want to save money, that is where they advise you, why not pick up insurance? If you do not have insurance, you are not planning on how to pay less. And you know what? Unless you are registered, there are certain jobs you will never get. Because they will see you as a high risk. They will see you, thank you very much, sir. Like, you see, they will see you as a high risk. You want to render services and you are not charging. They will see you as a high risk, and then this person doesn't even know what we are talking about. If they are not asking those who are applying for certain privileges to show evidence of, maybe to even apply for political posts, even to become a son, you must show the taxpayer certificate. And there are folks who could not apply because they do not have. But that is not the right way to do. So they must register, they must fill this form. Okay? Fill this form by January 31st every year. And say, this is how much employees I have, this is how much we paid, and this is the cumulative. This is the mainstay of states in other federation. And I pose, Is Lagos optimizing its taxing power? Then what contributions are professional making? Because one of the reasons for introducing VAT is to bring professionals to the tax net. And I bet the professionals that are complying in Nigeria are still less than 2%. Yes. So these are the offenses and these are the penalties. Failure to register 50,000 for the first month and 25,000 for each subsequent month. Under the VAT law, you are expected to issue invoice. It's not for fancy. It's if they come to your office and say, we want to see the invoices you have issued over whatever, and you can't produce them. You know, you are lucky that in Nigeria they will give you POG. In other countries, when they see that that is a pattern, they may want to make a scapegoat of you. And God forbid. Okay? Then failure to charge. Look at this. If you do a work for 10 million and you refuse to issue invoice alone, you pay 50% of that as penalty. On conviction, meaning that government should actually charge you and then threaten you with imprisonment. There is no VAT on rent and leases. The following day, this decision was in our favor. So bear that in mind. If you are paying VAT on leases and you want liberation, let us talk. Especially if it is significant. Okay? Now, tax planning, perhaps the most important. I've spoken to a bit of this. Use a more tax efficient business model.
Many of us have experienced them. The tax man coming to your office with a letter and just telling you have to pay 160 million or whatever amount. And just like the MD of the company that he had, for the next 2 weeks or so, you will not be able to sleep until you eventually find a way. I think we should listen to the advice he has given to us so that we can avoid those pitfalls. If they come without assessment, direct assessment, and you are not able to produce any documents or records to counteract what they have done, it might stand, and that will be very terrible. And we should avoid infractions to the law. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. As he has said, as complicated as this presentation is, the law assumes we know everything, but we don't. So, but the little that we can do, we can register for VAT, we can register and have our TIN, and other things that we can do, we can then do those, and leave the professionals like the professor to handle the complicated side for us.
Using expenses to finance lifestyle. Remember I said the tax law will not allow everything to be taken out. So there is a test of wholly, exclusively, necessarily, and reasonably incurred. Okay? There are companies who give vehicles to some categories of their staff for a business purpose. True or false? True. And there are individuals who also have flourishing business or who will never think of riding cars that employees of other companies are riding. True or false? True. So there are business expenses that you can expense that it has become settled, but that people are not cognizant of because they think they are spending all their money. They are their professional indemnity insurance. Another client. So you don't need a limited. But if where you are looking for contracts, if they say that you need a business name, am I saying you shouldn't? I also have business labels that are limited. also for some jobs. Remember I said, okay, SPV for a particular, so that when they come, because being a businessman, you know, you are not exposed, you are not overexposed to FIRS that is going to deny you TCC when you desperately need it, even when you may not be in a negative position. Now, withholding tax, we don't roll it over. You know, government.
The excess tax.
Yes, that is it. Excess withholding tax. That's it.
Yes, excess withholding.
Okay, I have a withholding tax of 100 million. My tax liability is 80 million. I'm entitled to, yes. You see, normally, if not for the low integrity of the system, they should, because that is what
they should pay it back to you.
And the money they are giving to FIRS is not enough. And FIRS is also advocating the way we are all advocating that we cannot be owing taxpayers. But you know, FIRS will just generate. They are not the one that will allocate. So it's a source of frustration for taxpayers and tax administrators. But FIRS, provision must be made before they can pay. So it's one of the sub-points of our tax system. And you, as direct assessment, if you pay yourself salary and you think that's the end of the day, they will take it as drawings. Provision must be made before they can pay. So it's one of the sub-points of our tax system. Okay? Then VAT, you said, oh, they should pay us, they should let us set off all the VAT on our inputs. Ideally, that's the way it should be. But there is a section 17 where they seek to limit it. And say, well, we will only allow VAT incurred on raw materials or goods that are imported for resale or goods that are directly linked to production. And what they say is that all those expenses you may have, you should take it to your profit and loss account. VAT should work in such a way that there is no burden on you and that you are encouraged to collect from government.
So as we to put together something to talk about Lagos. I'm very passionate about Lagos and I'm also passionate about history. I was born in Lagos Island. And I returned to Lagos Island in my management of Freedom Park, which is in the heart of Lagos. So there's big need. I found this need to touch base with the past of Lagos. What was Lagos? I mean, this whole question is, what is Lagos? So without knowing, understanding the history of Lagos, we might miss the point. So please forgive this was like a skit that was done again over a few drinks at Freedom Park, where this whole idea of Lagos started. And it was done like just a skit. Some audio problems, but please bear with me, and if you have any questions, I'll answer after this. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I mean, it's been a very long day today. We're going to round this up with giving out awards to 4 of our guests today.
So very quickly, we'll take the first award, which will be presented by our president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Eni Benebo, FNI, PNI. Sir, please, would you join us on stage?
Yes, your paper on taxation was quite revealing. I recall about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had the opportunity of attending an event the one you were talking about between the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors and FOSI, and this issue of taxation and how professionals should be interested in analyzing the budget and how it affects them. We may want to put you from the Lagos State chapter to come and talk to us at a more national forum, and I know you would always oblige us, and of course you will not charge us VAT. So on behalf of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, this award is presented to Professor Abiola Sani SAN by the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Lagos State chapter, in recognition and appreciation of your contributions as speaker at the Lagos State Architects Forum 2022, this May 2022.
The first Vice President for the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Mobolaji Adeniyi, please.
For many people who didn't remember that you were the chair of Lagos chapter, particularly those who are not from this chapter, we want to thank you very much again for continuing to be very much a part of the chapter, for being chair at today's session and doing a very fantastic job at it. And so we want to say on behalf of the Lagos chapter of the Institute, your own institute, your chapter, I want to present this to you for recognition and appreciation of your contributions as session chairman. Thank you. Congratulations.
For the next award, we would like to invite up on stage our celebrity architect for today, Architect Abimbola Ajayi, FNIA. Please a round of applause for her as she comes up. She's a past HGS, and she's also a past Lagos State chapter chair. First of very moment. Okay, well, so the award we're going to Architect Theo Lawson,
the chief warder of Freedom Park, Freedom Park, Lagos. It is indeed an honor. Yes, we were at celebration a few months ago. Was it October? October, yes. Well, for those who don't go to Freedom Park, I think you should make it a habit. Once in a while, just go to Freedom Park and have a good time. Unwind, it's a fantastic place. This award is presented to Architect Theo Lawson, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, by the Nigerian Institute of Architects Lagos State chapter in recognition and appreciation of your contributions as a speaker at Lagos Architects Forum 2022. Thank you for honoring us, sir. Thank you so much.
Our president, we have no choice but to always show us the way. Our prayer is not to disappoint you. Our prayer is God to continue to give us wisdom so that we reach that height and what you've left behind. At least for over a decade. May God continue to bless you and your family. On behalf of the Lagos State chapter, this award is presented to Architect Eddie Benebo, FNIA, PNIA, President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, by the Nigerian Institute of Architects Lagos State chapter, in recognition and appreciation of your support, not only as a special guest of honor, but as a leader to be reckoned with in this chapter. Thank you very much, and this is the Thank you very much. We have one architect all the way from Ilori, Architect Kolawole. Please, can you stand up for recognition, please? He is going to be here for the next 3 years. Thank you very much.
This is Vicky CY. Hello viewers, this is still your girl Vicky CY. We are live here at Echo Hotel and Suite. Yeah, we are here for the 13.0. Right?
13.0, yeah, right.
Okay, so I would like you to meet one of the vendor here. So I'd like you to tell us your name.
My name is Ram. I'm the sales and operation manager for this company.
Okay.
Company name is Amosil West Africa. and basically we deals with different kind of construction chemical. You know, it's a US based company. We are the subsidiary company of Amosil USA, and we are having our own manufacturing setup in Nigeria.
So can I ask what country exactly are you from?
I am basically from India, but this company is basically from USA. Yeah. So as I said, we are into different kind of construction chemical. If you see, you know, these are our product range that we deal into. It's starting from tile adhesive. We have waterproofing membrane. We have latex. You know, we have flooring product. We have insulation. So we are into different range of product altogether.
Each of them now, what can you say or differentiate? Are they all the same making?
No, like each and every product has a different purpose, right? This all what you are seeing is for tiling, right? When you are installing tile on a high demanding area, like external cladding or, you know, high rise building, so you will use this kind of product. Now these are the product for waterproofing. When you are using waterproofing for your bathroom, your terrace, balcony, you can use this product, right? And these are the product for all those exposed area, you know, like anywhere you have an exposed roof, you don't want to put tiles, you just apply this and leave it open. It can go up to 25 to 30 years without any, you know, hesitation with that. No leakage or anything. And this product can go with, you know, if you have any existing leakage also in any existing tile or roof, this can go up to there also, and it can seal all those leakage places, right? So that's what we deal into. We have some more product called waterproofing admixture. When you are casting, when you are piling, you can use all those admixture, which will give you the strength. At the same time, you know, it will remove all those waterborne diseases in the future.
So can we know the company, exactly the name of the company? Of your company?
Yeah, my company name, as I said, Armosil. Armor, like armor, you know. Armor like Captain America armor. So it's like Armosil. Armosil, West Africa.
So guys, you've heard from Mr.
Ram.
Yes, Mr. Ram. So trust me guys, I have a lot of vendors that I really want you to actually come and close with. So come with us and let's see more.
Hi, good afternoon everyone.
What's your name?
My name is Shovik. I'm from India.
Okay, so Shovik, what exactly do your company do?
Okay, my company name is Jacoa Group. We are basically more than 60 years old company. We are into complete bathroom fittings. We are present in more than 60 plus countries, and we have our own showroom in Nigeria, which is in VI at 36 Adeolo Odeku Street, and we provide a complete bathroom solutions starting from sanitary, faucets, fittings, everything. So it's basically a one-stop solution for any customer who wants to buy products for his own washrooms.
So when you mean washrooms, can you identify the items?
Yeah, basically the one which is on the table, it's basically a tabletop basin. That is a WC. That is a faucet, sensor taps. That is a shower console which we use in the bathroom. And these are different types of bath mixers which we have in display. So all these things can be used in a washroom and a bathroom.
So basically, this is what your company do with you. It's the bathroom.
We provide a complete bathroom solution, as you can see at the back. Jacoa World complete bathroom solutions. So we provide a complete bathroom fittings to each and every client. We are in this globe for more than 60 plus countries. We have a presence in all Africa, Asia Pacific, and all these parts of the country. Basically, this is more than a 60-year-old company. And wow, looking forward to the support from all the Nigerians to get this business growing.
This is so lovely. This is again the city of Lagos, which is the Lagos Architect Forum.
Thank you very much. My name is Samson Ajayi. I am the country business director of our Bosch Power Tools business here in Nigeria. I am from Nigeria, and our office is here in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly do your company do, and what's the name of your company?
So we are Bosch Nigeria. I'm part of the Bosch group. We are an original OEM company specialized in consumer goods, home appliances, automotive parts and the likes. So we have been in existence since 1806 rather, and been in Nigeria in Africa since 1906. We have our own organization here in Nigeria where we have major business segments like our consumer goods, our automotive aftermarket, our industrial boiler divisions, and here in this exhibition we are representing the Power Tools department, and that's why we're here.
So do you have any equipment or something, you know how it works, how it's done, and the functions of it?
All right, of course. So we have different tools here, from the power tools, the measuring tools, to the corresponding accessories. And most of our tools are used in the construction industry. There are some that are also used in your, for interior applications. And I can actually show you some of them. Yeah.
Can we go? Come guys, let's go.
Now, again, we have different part of our business that are represented here in the measuring tools that are used by architects, surveyors, and the likes. We also have the construction tools, the power tools, the drilling machines, and the likes, and as well the corresponding accessories that goes with it. So, for example, this is our detection tool. It is used to see through walls, literally see through walls. So depending on the thickness of the wall, in the event that you want to do some restructuring, maybe some renovations in your room and the likes, instead of just breaking down the wall, not knowing what is beneath the wall, whether there is pipe there or electricity there, you can actually use this tool to see through. So this is the Detect 150 SV. The SV means signal view, and you can use to see up to 150 millimeters. All right, so meaning that if you want to possibly, you want to confirm if there is a live wire behind the wall, or you want to confirm if there is pipe behind the wall, or you want to see whether maybe you have different types of AC, you understand, and you want to confirm which one is working and which one is not working. We also have thermotechnology tool that can actually be used for that particular purposes.
Hi, my name is Simi Araye from Custom.
Oh, I hope it's not Simi Adekunle Good.
No, it's not. All right, this is Custom Walls NG. Basically, we customize wallpapers, we print and we install. So it's not just what is in the market you're getting, it is what you want to suit your taste, your preferences, exactly what you desire. So basically, if you have your designs, we can install for you, instead of just getting to the market and then seeing what is there and getting it because you don't have a choice. In this case, you have a choice.
So how does it work? And where is your company, here in Nigeria or outside the country or something?
Yes, it is right here. All this is done right here in Nigeria. So basically, you give us your design or you tell us what you want, so we can work with that idea and then bring it to life. So we design it, we print it right here in Nigeria. Our office is located at 11E Obagun Avenue, Matori, Lagos. So we get your design, we print it out right here. No, it's in Mushin. So we get your design, we print it right here, and we install it. No matter the size, no matter the location, we'll get to you and we'll give you quality. That's what we promise.
Okay, my name is Samuel Odenose. I work with LG Electronics. So
A lot about LG. They say their products are always lasting. So how true is that?
very, very, very true.
Is it 100%?
Yes, it's 100% because we are particular about every product that we produce out to the market, ranging from home appliances, electronics like your TV, audio equipment, information display, and the likes like that. So we have a whole compartment of electronics that we give out to other to people. So for this particular exhibition, we came with some of our home appliances products, our information display products, and our air solution product. That's the ACs. Exactly. So here you have this one of our premium products. We call it the LG InstaView door-in-door refrigerator. It's a refrigerator, exactly. You can see that this has a glass. What it means in essence is that because we understand that people open their refrigerator often, so as such there is a lot of more cold air loss from it. So the concept about this is that before you open your refrigerator, you should decide what you want to pick from your refrigerator. So once you just knock twice, the lights comes on. So you decide what you want to pick.
Please, I really need you to capture that because that is lovely. Yeah, please. Can you go again?
Because when you want to open your refrigerator is locked. You don't know what you want to pick. You genuinely understand. So for you to reduce cold air loss from your refrigerator, you can just knock twice. The light comes up. You decide what you want to pick inside before you open, and you just pick
almost immediately and it close back.
Trust me, guys, this is absolutely lovely. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this. Honestly.
Exclusive to LG. Yes.
Is it a new product?
It's not a new product. It's been around since 2017.
Okay, my name is Favor. I work with LG Electronics.
Favor what?
Umana. Yeah, I work with LG Electronics, the Air Solutions department. That's the department of air conditioners. Yeah, so we're here to showcase one of our fantastic products. As you know, LG is a premium brand and it's #1 in Africa and the world, global. Yeah, so we have what we call inverter technology. We're the first people to have brought this in Nigeria and Africa, and I can tell you that other brands copy that technology from us. Now, when you hear inverter, what does that mean? It simply means it gives you faster cooling at minimal energy consumption.
Sorry to come in. I was thinking when you say inverter, I was thinking the one that has to put in lights, through the house. Okay. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah, I understand. Actually, I've had people asking me, okay, the inverter, because the impression is that inverter technology is that when the AC, there's no NEPA light, it works. No, that's not the case. What it simply means is that it has this minimal energy consumption. You understand? Like this one you see here, you can actually run, this is a 1 horsepower AC. You can actually run it on a small generator. You know the generator they call like Better Pass My Neighbor. Yeah, so you can actually run it on that. No, not this one. This one you have to use the higher distance. But the fantastic feature about this one contains an ionizer. It purifies your atmosphere. That's #1. Then it has this beautiful design, not just hanging on the way. It gives you this aesthetics, this beauty. This design, it adds color to your room. Then another feature is that you could actually use an app. It has artificial intelligence. Yeah, you can actually manage and control the operations of this device using this ThinQ app. It could be in your office, it could be in your car, and you set work. Yeah. So that's the beauty of our product, and they are very affordable.